Hello and welcome. I'm Ranger Jack, the Lone Road Ranger, and today we're presenting the video of Mount Nebo, Arkansas. Mount Nebo is a state park in Arkansas, about 5 miles west of Dardanelle, Arkansas. Mount Nebo rises about 1,755 feet above sea level, and it has a view of about 34,000 acres. It's a beautiful, beautiful park and has cabins all over the mountain, and you can have a view from just about all of them. That's outstanding. The mountain had inhabitants as far back as 1848, and after the Civil War it started to begin populating quite rapidly. In 1898 the Summit Hotel was built and eventually burned down in 1918. Headed up the road and you can see the mountain in the distance there, and it's quite a little ways and a lot of windy, twisty roads going up the mountain. But the view is outstanding, it's just beautiful, and I just can't hardly wait to get there. Kind of interesting about the old Summit Hotel that was built in June of 1889. It had 100 rooms with a large wing for a dining room. There were separate buildings for things like laundry, bakery, kitchen, and storerooms. An additional long, low building known as the 13-room cottage, and another similar one, the 16-room cottage, supplied sleeping rooms when the crowds overflowed the hotel. Another building that housed the bowling alley, billiard rooms, post office, doctor's office, and telephone exchange. Also, members of the band, consisting of about 10 black men, worked as waiters during the day and played in the orchestra at night for dances. Slept and practiced in the rooms above. The rates at the hotel were $35 to $40 a month, and prices per day were ranging from $2 to $2.50. Weekly rates from $8 to $14. Children under 10 and servants were half price. Bowling alley charged a nickel per game. Wow. We're getting closer to the top of the mountain as we go, but you can see how windy these roads are. And it says at the top that there's 17% grade, but I can almost guarantee you at times it was 20 to 22%, because I had to get down into first gear to go up some of these hairpin turns. And there are about 10 hairpin turns along the way. Here's one of the steepest ones right here. I'm in first gear going up this road here. And you can't let up because it's all steep. So by the time you shift gears, it dies down just a little bit and you have to catch back up with another gear. Captain Evans, Joseph Evans, from the Civil War, built a house near the summit on Sunrise Point, and he planted 40 acres of fruit trees, apples, peaches, pears, cherries, strawberries, raspberries, and vegetables. He also had one of the best and largest and most profitable vineyards in the country. By the 1890s, the mountain had 2 large hotels with 100 rooms each, and a normal school graced the mountains along the way with many homes. There was also, like I said, the bowling alley, a ballroom, post office, telephone exchange, and a stable of riding horses. But that was fun. When the Civilian Conservation Corps, the CCC, was established in 1933, the state designated Mount Nebo State Park as one of the areas its local crew should work on. Over a 2-year period, the CCC crew, they called it the 1780, developed Significant portions of the park infrastructure, including the construction of roads, bridges, cabins, hiking trails, and pavilions. The main pavilion, built by the CCC around 1935, was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1992. 10 of the surviving CCC-built cabins were also listed on the National Register in 2016, 6 individually and 4 as a group. We're getting closer to the top now, and we've got a couple more fairly tight turns to go, and then we get up to the mountain, top of the mountain. Incidentally, it's a flat top at the top of the mountain, and if you look at it from the air, it looks almost exactly like an apostrophe. But it's long and it's all level at the top. There's also a rim around the outside of the mountain they called the bench. There used to be a road, and it was too narrow for the more modern cars, but it was a way of getting up to the mountain in the early days.
This is the overlook at the west end of Mount Nebo. And you can see it's just got a beautiful view, just breathtaking. I rarely get up here in the morning, but here it is about 9:30 in the morning. And it's just, like I say, just breathtaking. You gotta make this trip up here. It's just awesome.
Some real nice people with the name of the Bakers. They have a dog named Dolly. Very nice people. And they live there full time.
Hello, Bakers. Hi, Dolly.
Beautiful dog, too. We're headed to the visitor center to get a good look at what is there and to be able to take in the view from the backyard.
Well, we've arrived at the Mount Nebo Visitor Center, and Mount Nebo is a state park also. So most of them have a visitor center. This particular one is very nice, and we're going to go in and meet the people.
I've been here many times and bought a few shirts and hats and even a jacket, as I remember one time. They're really nice people, and the ladies, Larissa and Katie, were the ones who let me go through their book and take all the pictures and so forth. Very nice people. Really appreciated that. I'm at the top of Mount Nebo, Arkansas. It's just unbelievably beautiful today. You can see for a long ways, there's a little haze, but not bad. This is probably my 30th time up here. I never, ever get tired of this. I could live here. Just magnificent. Just beautiful. It's a pretty fur piece down there. So I'm not going to get up on that rock, but I've seen guys standing up here. I just never had the guts to do that. There's a nuclear plant right on down here, as you can see. A lot of steam coming out of there. I hope that's all that's coming out of there. So it's hazy today, and the ranger said that it's because of the controlled smoke, or smoke from the controlled fires that they're having around Arkansas. This is the backyard of the visitor center. How about having this in your backyard?
You can come up here and sit all day. You can spend all day here if you want to. And it's got some very tame deer. I was here one time and the deer came within 10 feet of me just grazing, and I held out my hand and one of them actually thought about coming over to me, but he didn't. I've been up here several times when the hang gliders are up here, and you can see right down here there's a little ribbon on a stand, and it's showing the flyers from which way the wind is coming. And there's not much wind there today. I would assume would be a great day for it, but I know really very little about hang gliding.
I'm taking you down through the areas where the cabins and the houses are. It's really beautiful. The thing about these cabins up here is that most of them are on the edge of the mountain. So you have a beautiful view right out your back door, or most of them have their own porch on the back, even with cookers and chairs and so forth. So you can really get relaxed in a place like this. At least I can. The park has 15 cabins available for rent, 25 camping sites, picnic areas. It has a very nice swimming pool, 25 miles of hiking and mountain biking trails, and other outdoor recreational activities for use by the public. And I've never been on the hiking trails, but they have everything from easy to very difficult. And so if I'm ever going to go on one, I'm going to have to start off with the really, really easy ones. When the park was first established, a lot of people from Dardanelle and Russellville would come up here and spend weekends. And I could see why, because back in the early days there was no air conditioning, really no fans to speak of. But it's about 10 degrees cooler up here at this level than it is down in the lower level around Dardanelle and Russellville. So it's very, very nice to have that cool weather when it's really hot in the summertime. Besides having the cabins here at Mount Nebo, there are also VRBO and Airbnb homes to rent, plus just individuals who rent homes, and they have signs sometimes in their front yards. But most of these homes are extremely nice. Of course, they're going to be kind of expensive, so if you can put 8 or 10 people together and share the expense, just about anybody could enjoy a weekend or 3 days at least with very inexpensively. Plus they have their own kitchens, their own bathrooms, beautiful views from the backyards. It would just be awesome. And I think that's what we're going to do next year when we come over to Arkansas. Anyway, thought I'd let you know about that too. This is Sunrise Point, and one time I came up here at 6:30 in the morning when I had to leave to go to another town, and I brought my breakfast up here and sat down here and ate it, and it was just beautiful. Just so stunning to see that sun come up early in the morning and be able to enjoy it like that. I really like that.
This is what's called Sunrise Point at Mount Nebo. And this is on the east end of the mountain. It's just gorgeous also. The view is spectacular. I'm not going to go out on those rocks. I have a fear of heights anyway. And then get out close to the edge, I just don't like doing that. But yeah, the views from up here are just spectacular, and as a Kansas boy, you don't get to see this too many times. I will say that when I was on the road as a salesman, which I came through here about once every 2 months, and I would get a lunch like from McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell or whatever, and I would come up here and just sit right here on this bench and just eat my lunch, spend an hour just looking at everything. Just so reviving to do that. I thank God every day for having put this place on earth.
I want to thank everybody for joining me today, watching my videos and putting up with me for a few minutes. We'll try to have another video ready before too long. Well, this is Ranger Jack saying thank you, and we'll see you again real soon. Adios.
Hey Pierre, who was that masked man? That, my friend, was the one they call the Lone Road Ranger. Look, he left a silver bullet